my clothes off, and instead I just lecture for 2 hours about a natural escapement.
Can you imagine Ariel on those kind of sites? Just like it'd be. Do you suppose there is a watch AMSR that involves speaking? Could Ariel perform that task? Do you think? Could he just
Not
like,
him.
wax
You need a
lyrical?
really glorious like Swiss French accent to do that.
Right. Okay. So there's only one man for that job. It's Sylvain. I mean, come on.
Lube.
David, what's the sexiest word in all of Swiss watchmaking? Yeah, that's the one.
I mean, they have not done that much to sex it up lately, but who knows? Maybe we'll think of something.
I'm sure we will.
It's a grunt.
A grunt, just an oof.
It's the sound. It's not a word. It's the sound that is made when you seat a mainspring in the barrel. That satisfying click.
Right. Okay. So only experienced by a few. Any other suggestions? I'm intrigued. We maybe should push into this a bit. Actually, we probably shouldn't, to be fair. But so the watch experience. No, I'm not even going to suggest that. I was thinking of suggesting something, but I'm not. I'm going to retract that. Forget about the last 60 seconds.
Rick, rated R.
Yeah. Well, that's a better way of putting it. The most R-rated experience you've ever had watchmaking, and going to Breitling shows in the desert does
It's
not
Ripley
count.
and Rick on rated R. A block watch after dark.
At after midnight, we lean into our microphones and we talk a bit more sultry. Scottish accents don't really work as sultry, I don't think. I'm not sure they do. All right, hen. Brace yourself, Effie.
I mean, I personally don't like it when things are referred to as sexy when they are objects. It's just so weird to me. You know, when a car or a watch or whatever, it's just so weird. Like, just use some other word.
Use some other word. Right. Well, let's have a look at what we're going to talk about this week. We've got some decisions to make. So there's a good couple of articles, some good industry news, but what watches are we going to talk about directly, and what are we going to relegate to the realms of hit, miss, maybe? So we have for our selection today, we have the Vaer G2. We will talk about David's grinding gears, and we're going to have a discussion about whether the flyback article of Mike, whether that is the right spelling of horsey, because I've never really seen it spelled an IE. It's always an EY. So that's the kind of minutiae we're going to get into. But there we go. So we have the camp field timer. Is that how that's supposed to be written? It's a camp watch.
The watch brand is Camp. The model is the field timer. So it's the Camp field timer.
Should there be a comma or a semicolon in there somewhere to distinguish that this is not a camp field timer? It is
you can
field timer.
Well, you can use it to time things around the camp fields.
Right.
But
okay.
Oh, cool.
It's also automotive inspired. And if you hit refresh on the homepage, you will be treated by a Meister Singer. Another one.
Another one
has been released.
Two articles just dropped at exactly the same time. No, I'm not seeing it quite yet.
Why aren't you seeing it? I get to see it on mine.
Oh, there you go. It's a time zone difference. We see it 4 hours after you. That's how the internet works, don't you know? We have the hands-on
cookie settings.
Second Tzoa Citizen. We have the Richard.
How do you pronounce? Never mind.
I don't know.
Never mind.
Tzoa.
Never mind.
Tzoya. TSUYU Osa Tzosa. No.
So there I was thinking there's nothing sexy about watches, and here comes Citizen the rescue.
The Jacob of Coe's 60th birthday. 60th birthday what?
Let's talk about that one. That one. Let's definitely cover that at that point. Some point. That is it's intimidating.
We'll cover that, and then the Sanctuary phonetic spelling of tourbillon, I assume. Tiburon?
Santurce.
No, Santurce, like from Puerto Rico.
Are they just making these up? Like,
well, I am.
No, it's a place in Puerto Rico.
Right, okay.
Whatever. It just doesn't sound like, there's some, you could call it Balassagyarmat as well. It's a place in Hungary, but nobody could read it because it has all kinds of funky letters in it. It's just, who are they selling this to? Only people to
David, can you
Puerto
say that
Rico or what?
again? And can I see it spelled? It might sound good on a dial. I have an idea for
It
it.
actually looks it's lengthy. I will put it into the studio chat. I hope you
Put
can
it in the
see it.
studio chat.
My
and
logo
we'll-
will be only the non-English letters in there.
David, I tell
yeah,
you what,
if-
David, drop us a link to
How
it
is
on a
this
map.
place, by the way, in Hungary? Like, is this one where I want to name the watch after it?
Probably not. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's not great.
There goes our audience based in. But wait a minute, have you just put it in capital letters for a reason in the chat? Is it for
I just
phonetics?
removed all the
All right, okay. This is for the watch branding.
vowels.
All right,
It
okay.
makes the same amount of no sense at all.
Yeah,
It's
that's
totally
good.
totally
I
whatever.
like that. Okay, so what are we going to relegate to the realms of Hitmas? Maybe I think Hitmas maybe deserves. It certainly deserves the Citizen. So the Citizen is going in Hitmas maybe. What else should go in Hitmas maybe this week? I think we should talk about. Should the Richard Mille
the
go in
RM.
Hitmas maybe, or should we talk about it directly?
Put the
What do you think?
Richard Mille in it.
I think we put the Richard Mille in Hitmas maybe, and we'll talk about the Jacob and Co. Right? What third watch from this week's? I think for pronunciation reasons only, it has to be that Santur Tiburon and Pikachu watch. No, I think that goes in Hitmas maybe as well. Santuri, I don't know. It's all
Santurce.
Santurce.
No, the
Alright.
Tiburon and the Picua are the models. Tiburon means
They're definitely
shark in
collector's
Spanish.
cards, surely.
No. This is all just Spanish. So Santurce is the place in Puerto
Uh-huh.
Rico. It's also the name of the watch brand. Tiburon means shark. Picua is like a barracuda. They have another model called the Machete. And alongside these very aggro sounding dive watches are these little plastic kids watches with corgis on them.
Right. That sounds like a website we're going to need to visit during Hitmas, maybe.
Yes.
Okay, let's start off then with just drop. Well, we'll see if your article you were just talking about just dropped as well. The Meister Singer. Nope, don't see it yet. Maybe it'll appear by the end of the show. So let's instead talk about the Vaer G2 Meridian GMT watch. Is an affordable travel companion. Ripley had a hands-on with this. I quite like the look of this. Not sure what price it is. I suspect it's quite competitive, and that's going to make me like it even more. But did you like it?
I did. I did a lot. Actually, it looks like the Meister Singer has been pulled and now scheduled for 5 a.m. So I guess you'll have to sit tight. There's no embargo on it right now. So,
Right. Okay.
no, this is cool.
Maybe. Hold on. Before it, does it just have one hand?
Yes, but it also
Yes.
shows the hours and the running seconds. Well,
You're not telling me it's a jump hour, are you? Please don't be a jump hour. Please don't be another jump hour watch. Okay.
not saying much. Anyway,
That's
so the
pretty
Vaer,
good. Yes.
so one of the things that Vaer does that's a bit interesting is they make watches, similar watches at different price points, but rather than just one being like the cheaper version of the other, they'll often do something that makes it feel kind of tangibly different rather than just the lesser version. So
Mhm.
their flagship line is the G5. It's a proper traveler style GMT with the Miyota 9075. And so they make the G2, which is a quartz GMT, which is quite a bit more affordable. Prices start at $399.
Oh, right, wow.
Uses like a Swiss ronda movement, so a collar style, but Swiss nonetheless. Instead of a ceramic bezel, you get aluminum. The crystal has less of a domed curvature to it, but it is quite a bit thinner. And for a traveler style watch or one that you use for travel purposes, quartz is quite convenient. So if you don't wear it every day, so this is another solid offering from them. And for those who either want a collar style, want quartz, don't want to pay nearly $1,000 for what is
Mm.
probably their flagship piece, this is a really solid offering, and it's quite thin for a GMT. So quite easy to wear on the wrist.
$399. This looks like a actual bargain. I
Now,
really like this.
Add an extra 90 if you want a metal bracelet. Otherwise, you comes with a rubber strap, FKM rubber plus a like a nylon NATO. But it's kind of configurable on their site, so you can get a Jubilee, an Oyster, leather straps, whatever. You can swap out basically the NATO for some of the others for some nominal charges. But yeah, it's quite solid. This is
Cool.
kind of what I would consider to be their second generation of models. The first ones were thicker, just there weren't bad watches, they were just thicker, but this sort of shares a middle case with the I believe it's the DS2 Meridian, which I reviewed not that long ago. It's like $200. It's a dive watch, but this is quite thin. It's like 10 mil, including the crystal or something thereabout. So it's
Cool.
I like it quite a bit.
Now, Ripley, did you just take off your leather jacket, throw it on the arm of the sofa to take these photographs?
It wasn't the arm on the sofa, but I did take off the leather jacket and I threw it on the table in front of me
Okay.
and then took the photos.
That's cool. No, some really nice photos as well. See that looked, or is that, what's this I'm seeing in your photo? Is that your leg? I'm
My
confused.
shirt?
No,
My shirt. I'm wearing
It's
a
his
gray
chest and
sweatshirt.
his.
Yeah,
Where-
it's my stomach, I guess. It's part of my
all right.
chest
Okay.
and stomach.
Oh, right. I see. We're looking
Yeah.
down the way, so you're right.
Rick,
okay,
you want to
that's-
take on watch photography? You're reverse engineering here, the background and the pose and everything.
Yeah, this is about as close as I'm going to ever get to knowing anything about photography. Yeah, right. Okay, I understand. The angle is important. That's good. Cool. I really like this. David, experience of Vaer and thoughts on this watch?
Absolutely no experience whatsoever, but I quite like the way Ripley presented it. It looks well made. It looks decently positioned. Why not? Absolutely.
Good.
And one thing
good.
fun about the company as a whole is they make a vast cornucopia of models, dressy stuff, but they're big water surfing guys, so everything is at least 100 meters. This has 150. Everything is a screw down crown, and everything is, including the water resistance, is covered by their 2-year warranty. So they really, it's nice to see watches, regardless of design, very much intending to be used, and that's why every watch comes with a rubber strap, regardless of whether you get a bracelet or leather, whatever
Alright,
else you
okay.
want with it.
Cool. Good stuff. Go and check out the Vaer if that floats your boat. It very much floats my boat. Aye, David. It's that time. It's grinding gears time.
Yes.
One of my favorite article series, and this is a particularly good one and a particularly
Thank you.
particularly relevant one, bearing in mind the Lux Consult stuff about Omega and the announcement about Breitling and the write down, and how much of all of that kind of decline of once great watch brands may be because they are currently located well inside their own echo chamber. So grinding gears, watch brands in their echo chambers. Give us the TLDR on this.
The title actually was Watch Brands in Their Tiny Echo Chambers, but apparently that was too much for somebody, either in copy editing or wherever in the process of scheduling it. So, yeah, whatever.
Okay.
I'm not too happy about that change, but that's fine, I guess.
Not bitter.
Keep toning it down. Why not? I'm happy somebody thought something else about my title and just changed it. That's cool.
Okay.
So yeah, basically it's about how watch brands communicate and used to communicate, and this quite a big shift, quite major shift, and not in a good way, sadly, because just as I say in the intro, basically, it was two things that got me into the watches, and had it not been for those two things existing at the same time and with the same efficiency, I would not have become a watch enthusiast. And these were strong independent watch media and watch brands that look like they wanted to reach out, talk to, and impress watch enthusiasts. And because I was just sitting there in front of YouTube in like 2012 or 11 or 10 or whatever it was, and looking at all these videos, of course, reviews by Ariel, and also a lot of the videos that brands would put together. And some of these were so impressive and so unbelievable in ways. Sure, they were renders, but they were also very fantastic in the way that they presented watches. You could see winding rotors ricocheting off asteroids, and just watch movements assembling themselves, and enormous tourbillons, and the way these things work. And you could literally fly through these movements and just be taken into this world. And I used to set this benchmark for not just for myself, but the way the industry presents itself in by saying that if I were to get somebody, or wanted to get somebody into the world of watches, what is it that I would show to them from the world of watches? And it used to be these videos. If you show somebody this chiming bird, I added some of these examples to the article, so I urge everyone to check it out, like the Jacques Drault charming bird automaton watch video from like 10 plus years ago, Cartier ID2 watch. When was the last time Cartier did anything meaningful? It's one of the largest, most highest revenue luxury watch makers, and they do virtually nothing whatsoever at all to market
Mhm.
their watches or watchmaking in general. I'm not under the impression that Cartier has ever done over the last 10 years, or maybe definitely 5+ years,
Mhm.
anything to really convey what is so cool about their watches. It's just a status item, and I get that. It's a lot of it is about that, but at the same time, when you create a vacuum that lasts long enough, it's basically just like the population of a country. If you don't reproduce, if you don't have new people come into the system, then the whole thing will just die out eventually. And I fear that that is basically what's happening if it were up to the watch brands only.
I'm watching this Cartier video. I'm still not quite sure what it's on about. It's currently talking about light bulbs. If you're tuned into the YouTube channel for today's show, you can see that, or you can go to the article link. In 2012, Cartier presents the ID2 Cartier, the first high efficiency watch. Was high efficiency really what people were looking for in watches back
It's
in
just pushing the
2012?
boundaries. I mean, they created a watch. This had vacuum in it, and
Ah,
that
right,
in
okay.
itself extended power reserve by I
Mhm.
think, I don't want to say something stupid, but like maybe like a double-digit percentile or something like that,
Right,
just
okay.
because it removed the air resistance of the balance wheel.
Mhm.
So,
Cool.
so it was a really cool concept, and it
Mhm.
was durable. They were just stretching, what is it that they could do? Look at this freaking watch and the way, Casio, this still hurts me.
Yes, the
The way
Casio edifice.
the way they launched their first ever mechanical watch ever in the history of Casio with this. Look at this flat looking, moderately ugly render. It's so unappealing. It's unreal. Is this
Yeah,
what the watch looks like? Kinda.
and
Does it make me want to go out and buy one? No.
yeah, I'm surprised the image they sent you wasn't high enough resolution to even go on a
Yeah.
website, let alone this
Good
size,
point.
thumbnail size only.
Yeah.
But there we go. Do we miss the years of these kind of Breitling adverts? Obviously, IWC are somewhat known for their slightly, well, they get themselves cancelled as a brand nowadays if they put out some of the adverts that they used to. Do we miss the?
Have you not seen the South Park episode that Woke is dead?
Oh,
You
right,
you
okay.
can do whatever now.
Also, we can. So,
So,
okay, IWC, bring back your adverts.
mark my words, it probably won't be IWC, but it's only a matter of time before a luxury watch brand returns with some bombastic
Okay.
marketing.
Who
It's
do we
only
think?
a matter of time.
Who's doing that? I mean, there's a rumor. You'll notice Ariel's not here today,
Okay.
and Ariel is allegedly meeting with GLC.
Yes.
GLC are allegedly for sale. Do we think there's something in common here? Have they, after 3 weeks ago, when Ariel was like, "Just give me the gig," do we think somebody's actually picked up the phone and is giving him the gig? Ripley, before you speak, it sounds like your microphone might be really loud, because I can hear every breath you take right now.
I'm just that excited.
No, your microphone's really loud. Also,
How does it?
I don't know. It's just what happens. Maybe it's just the world of watches going, we need to hear what Ripley's got to say. So go ahead, Ripley.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do to turn it down. There's no knobs or anything. It just is what it is.
It's a knobless watch.
Push it
Yeah,
a
I
bit further.
just-
Just like you can back up because there's the
Yes,
wall
just-
behind you.
That's right.
About
The wall has
here.
come to betray you.
Okay.
It's like a Star Wars thing. The wall's slowly moving closer
can
and
talk
closer
to-
to the microphone.
I can whisper. Is this better?
Yes, do that. It's very
Kinda.
sexy. Go for it, Ripley. What brand is going to break the
So
woke wall?
I don't know. There's a difference between being for sale and being sold. How long has Parmigiani been for sale? And nothing. I mean, if you wanted to buy them and had a competitive offer, I'm
Mhm.
sure that brand could become yours.
Mhm.
No, Vaucher does not come with it, but that nothing has really changed despite that being for sale. The brand keeps
Mhm.
pumping out some pretty watches, some innovative stuff, and until someone buys it, kind of status quo. So if something were to be put up for sale, um, a lot might have to happen before anything changes in terms of what we're getting offered to the public.
So someone has actually bought, imagine a scenario, especially linked into this navel gazing that David is referring to. Someone has decided to buy Ariel GLC Ariel wanders into the boardroom where everyone is sitting there. What's the first words out of his mouth? No more vintage. No more vintage
Yeah, probably.
inspiration.
I hope it's Master Compressor
Yeah.
or Gyro Tourbillon or bring back Lambert. Well, Lambert is already there, so that's good.
There we go. So who knows? There might be some news out of GLC with their immediate takeover by American ownership. There we go. So combine your thoughts on this article, David, with two bits of watch news that have come in the last week or so. One is this report. So I'm never quite sure where they get their numbers from, but this is the Morgan Stanley report. I'll just display probably the most famous screenshot that will be doing the rounds at the moment, which is this one. If you can read the writing, it's all in fairly small type. Basically shows. Is that the previous one? Well, where's so it is.
Just click
there.
right or left or whatever.
Click,
and then
yeah, let's see where is that.
There it is.
There we are. Why is it not? There we go. So the main news on this is the seeming decline of Omega.
Yep.
And then reported in many places is also the complete devaluation of Breitling by its current owners. To what extent is this, which I don't think surprises anybody really, but to what extent is this change of attitude of the brands themselves that's been demonstrated over the last 10 years fundamentally responsible for what's happened to these brands, both the overvaluation and then the coming to Jesus moment of Breitling and the slow but nonetheless steady decline of Omega as a competitor, as an inheritor, as the ultimate chaser to Rolex?
Wow, I mean, it's I don't think we have to dive too deep into the muddy waters of investment firms and corporate evaluations and all these things, because the way Breitling had set itself a trajectory that it clearly not it, but and no one could have followed. It was just basically impossible. I mean, it sure sounds great if you start drawing a chart and it just goes and goes and goes and it goes into oblivion, and by 2050 you're selling 100 gazillion million watches at extreme prices to everyone on the world. And of course it's going to be worth like, oh, look at this amazing company, and sure, you can sell or you can move things around, and it's just a world that is extremely complicated, and it's not at all, or not it's not at all, but it's not necessarily about the actual reward performance of these companies in the midterm, at least. And you can move things around and you can make things appear the way that they are or they aren't, through some clever accounting. So it's not just a matter of, oh, look, Breitling is doing well or not doing well. It's also about winning time. It's also about appearances. It's also about timing when you want a company to appear valuable. And there are times when it really doesn't matter how you evaluate it, or it's not that it doesn't matter, but there are other considerations that these investment firms have to make. So I think Breitling was set totally unrealistic expectations, which they were unrealistic for a reason. I mean, it was only a matter of time, and I think it's hilarious. I remember looking at these Morgan Stanley reports for years on end, and I'm like, this doesn't seem to align with reality. For Omega, for example, this is just like, really, that many watches with this much revenue, this high on this list? And then another year goes, and another year, and another year, and boom, there we are in 2026 with the 2025 report, and boom, it's already moving down. And it's selling allegedly 45,000 fewer watches. It's just going downhill. But the way that these things appear and are listed as just, I think if you keep an eye out, then you can get a very complex picture on the healthiness of these brands, as opposed to just looking at where they are on this list every year, every 12 months.
The one obviously that's what I don't understand about this list is, so I was going to make a commentary on Christopher Ward, which is new at 48 pop pickers. And just how many years from now till Christopher Ward is ahead of, LVMH brands, Swatch brands? You can understand it being ahead of Bell and Ross, perhaps, but when does Christopher Ward surpass Zenith? But I noticed on here, Oris is at 45 with a wee down arrow. but in the year before, it also appears to be at 45.
No, Rick, that's
no.
parent group and brand,
Right, okay.
not year 1, year 2.
Versus 2023. Right, okay. Anyway, the point is that brands like Christopher Warden are coming in. It's qualifying for Swiss made because of its movement, etc. Would it be considered the only mic? There are cheap watch.
It's not a
brands
micro
on
brand.
here.
This is what Ari has been saying. Christopher Ward is
yes,
not
it's
a micro brand.
It's not a micro
Never
brand,
been
but
a micro brand.
well, has it never been a micro
It's
brand?
never been a
It's
micro
been for like
brand.
2
so?
seconds.
I know. I
They
don't.
sell like 39,141.
Yeah.
That's a very accurate number.
Accurate.
39,141 watches
Yes.
with a turnover of 51 gazillion
Yeah.
million Swiss francs, and that ranks them at 48 for those who are not watching, just listening.
Yeah.
And it's only followed by Roger Dubuis and Ben Ross on this 50 list.
Yeah.
I always find it very fascinating. Of course, given the average prices, it's a given. It's very easy mathematically, but practically, it's also a very different scenario to look at. For example, MBNF, who makes not 51 million, but 52 million Swiss francs of revenue, but with just 420 watches, not 39,000 watches. It's just so fascinating.
You can tell that the people at the Morgan Stanley phoned up Mike France and said, Mike, we think you're going to qualify for this top 50 chart. You want to tell us how many watches you sold this year? And so he just went into his spreadsheet and went, yeah, we sold 39,141. Thanks, Mike. And then hung up the phone.
Yeah, that's exactly how I imagine it.
Whereas everybody else is like, oh yeah, we sold roughly 80,000 Raymond Weil watches.
It's hilarious.
Did you really? I mean, are any of these other numbers not deeply suspicious? I think the Christopher Ward one is probably the bellwether in terms of this number is probably absolutely spot on. Whereas
these are estimations. There, a lot of these numbers are not public at all. So they have to work their way around, and of course, there are ways that you can get relatively. You can fine tune your estimation. But again, it's also a matter of, is it sell in, sell out? We've been seeing very high production numbers, and then the reality did not really align with that, and a lot of those watches were either stuck in inventory, and then they had to buy it back, like Cartier did a number of times, and others have done as well, or they ended up in the gray market. Is it sold? I guess after a while, if it's not bought back by the company that made it for hundreds of millions of euros or pounds or whatever, then I guess it's sold. But it's just, there are all kinds of shady business and smoke and mirror stuff you can do to make these numbers appear this way or that way.
Well, I mean, we do have Omega Corner, so although the Omega has declined, it's now the time of the show where we have to say something positive about Omega, just to balance out the yin and yang of our Omega commentary. So give us one positive thing you've heard in the last week about Omega, David. Ripley's currently panicking.
He's panicking. Well, I found my favorite Planet Ocean.
Okay. Which is
a very random transitional model from a number of years ago. That's actually not that difficult to find, and it already has, I think, the ceramic bezel insert, but the older movement and older design, and it's just this sweet spot in Planet Ocean world. I will look it up while Ripley.
Yes, look while Ripley panics and thinks of something. Ripley, Omega positive comma.
Despite Omega, not failing to take a moment to market something when it can, it really is very honest about its use of titanium. That brand uses both grade 2 and grade 5, and it doesn't try to pretend like one is vastly superior to the other. In truth, grade 5 is a bit stronger than grade 2, but it kind of doesn't matter when you're making a watch case, something that small. And they use one versus the other depending on what color they want the watch to be and how they want to finish it. If you notice stuff like the No Time to Die, they want it to be darker and all brushed. It's grade 2. Other models, when it's got like polished lugs and stuff, it's grade 5. But they've always been very transparent about that, rather than trying to spin some multi-page marketing thing on why they're using grade 5 or grade 2 for a specific watch. So I think that's very refreshing in a world where we have brands using grade 23 just because it costs more. And is really basically the same as grade 5. It's just a bit more tightly controlled in terms of the tolerances, which is why it's used for medical implants. But unless you're putting the watch inside of you, it's irrelevant. So if that's what the
Which
target market is
Maybe they have
intending
very
to do,
sensitive skin.
you know, who's to
And
knock that for me? Shame you for
that's
using grade 5
later for our
versus
R-rated
grade.
show with
Yeah.
Rick and Ripley. So yeah, yeah, positive stuff from
Yeah,
Omega.
so I found my
All
favorite
right, go
one.
on then.
I
Go
had
on.
to look
Send
it back.
us,
It's
send
the
us the link.
222.30.40.20.01.
Of course
Good luck
it is.
finding that on this basis.
I thought that's the one it would be.
Get your
When
pens
when
out.
you
Get
thought
your
it was-
notebooks out.
Right, okay,
All
give us those
right,
numbers.
I will
So-
put this in the freaking studio
no,
chat so we can
no,
show
no,
it to people, so everyone can go on Chrono 20
no.
million and buy it.
No, I want
Dark
you to
edition.
read it out. No, I want you to read it out to me. So read it out to me.
This is longer than our WhatsApp number. This is
222.
absolutely
It needs a
unacceptable.
jingle. 222.
New jingle time. Yes.
So it's 222.
01001. Right, let's see if that brings me up something. Omega Seamaster pre-owned.
It's gonna be pre-owned
Omega.
because it's an older watch.
Yeah, I'm looking to see. We're actually on
It's about
Watch
2010.
Finder. No, that's
It's
useless.
awesome. It's the one that I want. I've not
The
wanted an
one you
Omega this
want?
much.
Oh, there we go.
Probably ever.
Right, hold on. Let me see. Is this the correct watch from Chrono 93? Seamaster Planet Ocean. It's a classic.
That's the one. What an unappealing picture, but yeah. So what?
Straight from the Omega catalog.
Yeah.
Right,
So
let's
basically
review this
what makes
watch,
it-
Ripley.
What?
Just let's review the watch, right, Ripley? Let's review the watch. Is this a suitable watch for David?
Yeah, I think so. This would go well with his Daytona. He has a white Daytona. This is black. This is not a very good photo of this watch, but I've always had a soft spot for these sort of like mid-era Planet Oceans. The current generation's its own thing, but this is before they kind of became super chunky with the like 8900 coaxials, and it's a thinner case, a bit more realistic proportions, but it's also a bit more matured. You get the ceramic bits versus the very first inaugural like 2500 series models. So I've always liked both these and the Seamasters, because I believe this is the same generation that if you were to get the Seamaster 300, you get a ceramic dial, ceramic bezel, but without the wave pattern. Yeah, I like these Planet Oceans quite a bit. And what is this, like six grand? Like this is
Yeah.
a relative bargain by
For
modern
some reason,
Planet Ocean
for some
standards.
reason, it's for sale in the UK and it's £5,967. So whether Mike France also priced this watch as well as giving out the numbers of Christopher Ward, so it seems a bizarrely specific price.
What's
not
odd is
have-
that it's so much more expensive than it is in Japan and Hong Kong. It's like 40%, 45% more for the exact same watch, which is wild.
I always notice that about Chrono 93, that anything that's coming from Japan seems significantly cheaper. Is there a
But not by
specific
a 40% split. That's
well,
huge.
it's always on the cheaper side of anything you look at on that website. Is there a
true.
particular reason for that anyone's aware of? Obviously, there'll be import duties and stuff, which will probably bump it up. But why is the baseline price always
It's
cheaper?
the same as it is with cars in the UK. You know, UK cars, even if they are left-hand drive, they tend to be cheaper than they are in the EU. It's the exact same car, and it's 10, 15, 20%, less expensive. It tends to be in the UK because it's a pain in the neck to bring this in. You have to pay all kinds of duties, so it creates this microcosm where it's difficult for these watches to leave Japan and enter the EU or the US or whatever with all the tariffs and stuff. And of course, you have to look at the yen, the devaluation of the yen against other currencies that makes it cheaper. And again, it's just, and also certain market specific anomalies where these Japanese sellers, of course, struggle to sell these to the EU or whatever. And if it's just not a desirable watch in Japan, then what you're looking at is something that's gonna go for a lot less than it is in the EU. But getting back to this watch just for a second more, I think what's special here is that, as Ripley mentioned, it's thin. It is still thin, as opposed to the full-on updated version that came after this. But it also already has. So this is the first one to have, I believe, the liquid metal ceramic bezel insert, the ceramic dial. So it looks very fresh and very modern, while not becoming such a chunker as the ones that came after it. So I think that's just, and 42 millimeters wide as well. So it really is the sweet spot in terms of Planet Ocean. It was limited to 1,948 watches or examples. So it's actually, I don't care about that at all. I wish it wasn't limited. I don't want to have any limited watch ever, because I think it's just, it gives me nothing. But it's still a cool little watch.
Why is this limited? It's a Black Planet Ocean. Like in what? Why? What? Oh no!
Because the case spec says world premiere ceramic ZR02 and liquid metal. So this was their timid introduction of this novel material, and they were like, okay, let's try, let's see if it keeps breaking or if it's like some sort of nonsense, and then we can disown it and say, oh, it was just a limited edition. That's why.
There we go. There's the back of the watch there.
Yep.
Of all the limited editions that Omega makes, of which there are an incountable number,
an unlimited number.
This is kind of one of the better ones to have, where it's like of all of the weird contrived things, if you're gonna have a limited edition, this is one eerily small relative to some of the numbers they put up. Limited edition of 10,007 units for James Bond.
I'll have to buy one of these. Damn it.
This is small, and this is kind of a cool one. Like, I had no idea they even made a limited edition to introduce this new piece of tech, which has since become standard.
Metal.
No, it's not. It's liquid metal. It's actually interesting tech how they do the metal with the ceramic to make the interesting piece. It's quite nice. But I completely missed this. I just this is a cool one. And what is this? The other one you had on here was like what, $3,000?
Yeah, that was the Japanese one, whereas this one's in Germany. I like the fact it says world premiere on the back. It's this really strange thing to put on the back of a watch.
Because it was the first for liquid metal and ceramic. How freaking cool! A proper world premiere. It's not some nonsense world premiere in blue.
Yeah, fair enough. There we go. So if you are looking, if you're a loved one of David and you really don't know what to buy him this Christmas time, then this is what you need to.
They don't have to be my loved one. They can just love me.
If you love David, then this is what you should be buying. If you love David, if you want to show it this Christmas time, then buy David this Seamaster. Good stuff. Well, in light
can we aim for Easter?
Aim for Easter. You want it sooner? That's a bit greedy, right? Well, on the basis of all the watch stuff that we've been talking about in terms of brand suffering, it seems only appropriate that now is the time to kill off a brand with our brand Wheel of Death. Let's go. Okay,
with the variable rules set.
With the variable rules that we won't have to explain this week because Ariel's not here. Because Ariel's not here, right? So we'll figure out what the rules are depending on what is selected. But let's spin the wheel and see who we find. So first up, we need music. First up, could it be Bob and Mercy? Might they already have? Oh, it is Bob and Mercy. Okay, that doesn't seem like a difficult decision. There.
It's already dead. I mean, it's not even fair. Why is it on the wheel?
That's right. The wheel is valid from whenever we did it in January. Next up,
I'm going to the website, and all it's going to say is "Thank you for your trust in all these years. May we meet in another dimension." That's probably what it's going to say.
I got an invitation from him actually to meet in Geneva, so I'm curious to see what that will be. A somber meeting.
Where do you think you're meeting? Like a telephone box or in the park on a bench? There will be a man. He will be wearing a trench coat. He will have a hat on. He is the man
cup of Nespresso on us.
And then finally, so Lauren Ferry, Bob and Mercy, and last up in our...
Their website is from 2021. I mean, it's the exact same things as they were like a good number of years ago.
Okay.
No, 15 hours ago, they sent me an email saying they come to our touch and try sessions at Watches and Wonders.
Touch and try.
They're just checking to see if their email works.
It's possible that because the new when Watches and Wonders was a year ago, that at the end of the last Watches and Wonders, they just set up the auto email send for a year hence, and this is just it sending a year automatically. No one's been on the Marie Celeste is Bob and Mercier for the last 9 months.
It's true.
So there we go. Right, so we have a brand to kill, we have a brand to keep, and we have a brand to never have remembered. I was trying to think of, because Thanos saying it doesn't really work because he didn't destroy all memory of the watch brand. There must be like a a sci-fi
Like
series or
butterfly
something.
affecting them, like
Is
going back and just
yeah, the Back to the Futuring. That's it.
Just flashing them with
the
like
mo-
Men in Black style, so you have to start all over,
the
like you
Men in
forget
Black.
everything that you've ever
Yes,
known.
That's a better the Men in Black. That works better. What was that device called? Can anybody remember?
no, the
What
noisy
was?
cricket was
No,
the
I was
gun.
flashed, so I don't remember.
You've been flashed. have you?
Neuralizer.
The neuralizer. There we go. That's
Yep.
that's the new or neuralize the watch brand.
Neuralizer.
Doesn't quite work as.
So this
doesn't
is
quite-
great because Aurea will have to ask, what does that even mean? How does it
Exactly.
function? Why do we call it that? Which movie is that referring to? And then which version of that movie is that? Because they changed
Yeah.
the way that it's just going to be a realm of confusion.
Yes, there's a game show on radio in the UK called Mornington Crescent where you have to figure out the rules as you play it. And that's what we'll challenge Ariel with next week. We've changed the rules, Ariel. You need to guess how. Right. Bob and Mercy, Lauren Ferry, Morris Grossman, which are you killing? Or actually, no, which are you keeping? Who deserves to stay?
Laurent Ferrier.
You think? See, I'm leaning towards Morris Grossman.
So I'm between the two of them. I don't think either should be forgotten. I guess Maurice Grossman does add, like, who else is doing a bumper movement these
Exactly.
days? It's
Yeah.
inferior, but good on you for doing
Who
it.
else is plucking the hair from their very own CEO and sticking it in the back of the watch? Morris Grossman.
Also, they blew their
Restart
hands to the
immediately.
point of purple. I appreciate
Yes,
that. Yeah.
yes. They don't really say very much. They're quite quiet. At least they don't say very much to us. They used to say quite a lot, but they don't really say very much anymore. I don't know who owns Morris Grossman. It's presumably not Christian Hooter's still there.
So what would they do if they
so.
came back? They're already kind of doing their own thing. If they went
Yeah.
dark and came back, would that be more interesting than if Laurent Ferrier went dark and came back?
No, I think Lon Ferry going dark and coming back, killing and resurrecting Lon Ferry, I think is more interesting. David,
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
like how we've already just
we've already
decided-
killed, we've already annihilated. We
already
have
know who's
neuralized
getting
Bob
stricken.
and Mercy. I mean,
Wonk,
mate,
wonk.
would actually Bob and Mercy be better rather than selling, just being shuttered for 50 years? Is
Well,
Bob
is
and
there-
Mercy actually the one to kill and resurrect?
Hell
Is
no.
there anything
Just
there
let
that
it
we
die.
Yeah, is there anything there that we feel is like too cool or interesting that we would want to see shelved and come back and maybe reimagined, or any part of the history?
No, to be fair, you're dead
I
right.
really like the Riviera. It's actually a really nice little watch. It's not that Baume & Mercier has not made decent watches over the last 5 years. They totally have. It's just the lack of excitement. It's a lack of promotion. It's a lack of communication.
It's the lack of
It's a lack of
Richemont being in this,
sexiness, I guess.
but interested in it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just the lack of that. I would, yeah.
And bear in mind, they don't have a stand at Watches and Wonders, and you need to buy your stand at Watches and Wonders, presumably more or less immediately after the last one finishes.
They have a
known for-
stand. They just don't have a booth. It's just literally just like a standing window of like 2 watches and 2 people sitting next.
So they've
And maybe a
known
sandwich person, with like this
sandwich
like
board.
billboard. Yeah.
You know how, like, outside the Apple store, there'll always be a guy standing with a sandwich board with an arrow saying you can get it all done much cheaper around the corner. That'll be with
Yeah.
Bob and Mercy. You can go and see Bob and Mercy in the hotel directly opposite the convention
There's
center.
a number of Richmond brands with the Baumatic movement, in their watches. So I guess, that would actually apply where, if you come to Baume & Mercier directly to the source, you can actually get a decent
The real
movement.
thing.
I would restart Laurent Ferrier, not because I don't like the way that it is now, but because I feel like if they could exercise just more creativity and just unleash whatever it is that they have been doing onto something new, I think that would be awesome. And I personally don't really like Maurice Grossman that much, to be honest. It's just a taste thing, nothing beyond that. But they are very, they're a little bit more developed, a little bit more. They're standing on multiple pillars, I guess I could say. So I would keep, I just want to see more of Laurent Ferrier and not really more of Maurice Grossman. So that's my logic right now.
We're killing Bob and Mercy. So Bob and Mercy is gone. Let's get rid of
Bye.
it. There we go. Our rule last week was that we kept the other 2 to be renegotiated again rather than fixing their status. What are we doing this week? Are we removing Are we removing Morris Grossman and Lauren Ferry from the brand wheel to forever be kept and or resurrected? Or
So
are
how
we
many are
leave-
on this list
Oh,
now?
there's quite a few.
It's not
100. There's
146, is it?
146.
No way. So if we remove one per week, it's going to take us 3 years to get to the to
Basically,
resolve
yeah.
this.
There will be new brands launched in that time. We're never gonna finish this.
I think we remove them then. I think we take them out of consideration. They are forever
How about
fixed. Or do
how
we
about
just
we remove the restarted ones as well? Is this
okay?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So we remove the restart. So
Because
we're
it's like
keeping-
50
a
years.
kinder-
At
Okay,
that
so-
point,
Yeah.
it's so far off.
Okay, so who are we killing and resurrecting then? What's the decision? I reckon Lauren Ferry, but you saying you'd rather kill and resurrect Morris Grossman?
No, I think Laurent Ferrier. I think right now, I like what both brands do. I think there could be a case to be made to keep both of them, but I think there are other brands doing what Laurent Ferrier does, and that can be said for more of the things that I like about them versus Moritz Grossman, which is
Okay.
has a few more unique factors. So I think I concur with the two of you.
Okay.
We're keeping the quirky
keeping
brand.
Morris Grossman to be chucked back into the spinner.
And I would
we're-
agree. I think they're doing about as much as they can do. I'd like to see more, obviously, but I do think Laurent Ferrier could benefit from marinating and coming out with some really bonkers stuff in 50 years.
Okay, so Lauren Ferry is away and Morris Grossman gets to stay. I wonder if I can update this. Yeah, I think we'll put like a tally mark. So it has survived, there's a Roman numeral, it's survived one spin of the wheel.
Who else has survived?
So there we
Tissot?
Tissot's survived twice, I think, now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So Tissot's survived twice.
So it's interesting. I saw they had moved down on that list, but clearly that just lets you know it's a Swatch Group problem, not a brand specific problem for some of their brands, because that brand by compared to their siblings is doing quite well within the group.
And then GLC we killed, and Tutuma we kept Chrono Swiss. So there you go. So Chrono Swiss gets a wee tick against its name. Where's Chrono Swiss gone? Oh no, because that was under the old rules, so it's actually gone as well. Never mind. Right, okay, that is us from the brand Wheel of Death this week. Let's move on to our final section of Hit, Miss, and Indeed Maybe. So first up this week is going to be, I think it's going to be the Richard meal. So let's look at that. This is, you got hands-on with this. It's a hands-on Richard meal RM 41-01 Tourbillon soccer watch, a fully mechanical match tracker, because that's just what you need your watch to do. Ripley, talk to us about soccer.
The beautiful game. So
it's an ugly watch, though.
This isn't Richard Mille's first watch, soccer watch. But it is by any means the most advanced. The first one they did basically was a centrally mounted chronograph, and they used the scale along the side to give it 45 minutes and a little area for extra time, and that's all well and good. I think it had an annual calendar in those as well. They did 2 generations of those, but this is a whole another beast. So first and foremost is a tourbillon and a split seconds, and a flyback chrono, which is great. It still uses a centrally mounted setup, so one for the hours, one for the minutes. But they've added 2 new complications to it, and it also debuts a new material. So I guess let's start with the complications. The first is a period tracker that tracks the different periods in a soccer match. So anytime the chronograph is reset via flyback or stop reset, the period tracker will flip over from first half to second half. And then you also, should that end in a tie, you get your 2 periods of extra time that would, or I guess not extra time, it'd be like overtime there that would come after that.
But hold on a second. Is that because in America they still play this rule where if a soccer match ends in a draw, they play until somebody wins?
No, a lot will end in a draw, but if
Uh-huh.
it's a championship game or something, it
Uh-huh.
can't end in a tie. So you'd go
Right.
to the
Okay.
2 15 minutes and before shootouts. So
Right.
um, so the period tracker will track through and let you keep track of that, but you also get two mechanical score counters. So if you press the buttons on the right-hand side of the case near the crown, you'll advance these little score counters for
Mm-hmm.
one to let you count the scores of the teams. So to use the watch now, you'd press
Mm-hmm.
start it and you get this minutes and hours running around the dial. Now at 45, so at like 9 o'clock, when this minute hand's there, it would be the end of the regulation time for that period, but there will be stoppage time. So that's that little bit there between like 9 o'clock and the top of the dial. Now,
Okay.
if you were to be playing the 15-minute halves, that's where you get that 12 to 3 o'clock for in overtime there, and any additional time there gets tracked beyond that. So it's so much tech going into the movement. It's like their third most complicated watch they've ever put forward. And you also get a new material. So there's a red one and a blue one, but the
Uh-huh.
red one uses basalt TPT. So similar to like carbon TPT or quartz TPT, where it is very thin layers of fibers at offset at 45 degrees, suspended in a resin matrix. You get basalt fibers, and I believe they are 40 like nanometers instead of 35 or 45 for carbon and quartz TPT respectively. So instead of being silicon, you get basalt, and it gives you this cool color, which comes from the resin. But by using basalt fibers, Richard Mille is able to give a more saturated grain structure and use some darker colors. So that's all well and good. Basalt is something I never thought I'd see in a case material, but this is both a technical expose and just a massive flagrant statement piece because it's
Hmm.
1.94 million US.
I was
Uh,
going to say, guess the price.
yeah,
1.49 million. God.
1.94 million. Yeah, 30 pieces each
You were
for
up
each
by half a
colorway.
million, Rick. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
4.9, it's 9.4.
9.4. Yeah, you're up by $500,000.
Are you looking for cash in your drawers, Rick?
Yeah. I'm
What's
just looking at my
happened?
drawers now. Yeah, there's not enough here.
Like this
So,
is
yeah,
we,
not
we
happening.
often joke
Not this
about like,
week.
oh, it's fine, I'll just sell some organs. I don't have enough organs to sell to even come close to
We
this.
are not worthy enough, like
Okay.
all of us.
Right. Let's
Ah.
hit miss. Maybe is it a hit, a miss, or a maybe? 1, 2, 3, go. Miss, two misses and a hit. Right. Okay. This is a miss because apart from anything else, I'm not sure they understand the rules of football. They seem to have made this more complicated.
Than
It's
the
like
game itself, yes.
than the
It
game
costs more
itself.
than a team itself. You can go buy it like Wrexham circa 5 years ago for this
To
price.
be fair, I have not. I have been involved in football at some fairly senior levels, and this doesn't appear to uh, understand the rules. And also, it needs a VAR button for when you accidentally put that you have scored a goal, and then 5.5 minutes later, the assistant video referee says no, the goal was ruled out, and you have to reset everything. So I think, and it looks like it's made of wood. It looks like it's a timber watch. This is for what? This is no. This is just no. Just stop it. Just stop it now, David. And it's not called overtime. It's still called extra time.
I always just know as stoppage
And it's called injury time.
No, they're not
and then
injured,
it's
Rick.
called-
They're acting. It's theatrics.
It's called injury time and extra time. It's not called extra time and overtime.
So yeah, I agree with that. That should be, stoppage time. And then I guess period 1 of overtime, that's on the separate like image counter thing. I would agree with that. I think the vernacular on the dial could use a bit of tweaking, but
At least didn't split it into 4 quarters on the
It's
thing.
hilariously
Right.
illegible. What I really want is somebody on the side of the pitch looking at like, hold on.
What is the score?
I misread that. Actually, it's over. Like we should have finished like 10 minutes ago. I just couldn't read this absolutely microscopic, horrendously illegible, inaccurately legible display of whatever it is. You cannot read it. Even if it was like twice the size, every single indication was twice the size, you couldn't read it. It's impossible. It looks like a bowl of spaghetti. If you look at it, it's just so random.
I mean,
You cannot read it. What's the point?
I had to include the renders just so you would know it's not just the photos. It from every possible angle. It is you cannot read it, but that is not the point. At 1.94 million, if that's the type of money you're playing up for your soccer watch, you've got like 4 watch butlers with their digital VAR pieces and
Yeah.
Hublot smart watches to tell you what's going on.
To be fair, you both own the team and have bribed the referee. The score can be whatever you want, and it can finish whenever you like.
This is major energy. I have this one. I have two. Great.
Team red, team
None of
blue.
us can use it. And mine is already broken. Well, so is mine. Great. We
On the
will just bring
basis-
it back to like
And of
wherever
course,
they
it has
made
a
it.
tourbillon because why wouldn't you need that? You know,
course.
that's
Of course, it has to have a tourbillon. I wonder why it's not a minute repeater, so it chimes the goals like ting 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 ting. Okay, I guess it's 2-2 now. You know, it's just it's
that would be
brilliant
the
in the
only
fact
thing
the
that
fact
could
the-
make me like it more if it sang me the
Yeah.
goals a la Charming
Yes.
Bird style.
Yeah, that's another million, but it's happening soon.
Chimed
Or for
your-
like the
yeah.
bespoke versions, let it have it sing the anthem of my team.
No, the
you know?
Westminster chime is you're getting sacked in the morning, and we can see you sneaking out.
That's the little button.
to
It's
the
like
tune.
LIVERPOOLFC. It's just coming out of the one.
You know,
yeah.
I like
Ripley,
it because it's
Ripley, you are remembering you gave this a hit, right? Yeah.
Yes, no, I think this is epic. I love this thing. Like, so first of all, I love it because there's not that many watches that if you were like mega Premier League star FU type of money that you could wear that alludes to the fact that you made your money playing the beautiful
Bad
game.
things.
You
made
would
it
just be
doing bad
wearing some
things.
ridiculous Jacob & Co piece or some Gemset Hublot or some absolute trash man watch. But like this, you know, this speaks to a love of the sport of soccer. And if you like own a team or you're a big wig coach or a star or something, absolutely these need to exist. This is like the soccer
do they though?
like
Hold on,
the
hold on. Let's find
football
the website here.
footballer watches is almost like a stereotype, and like this so perfectly caters to that with complications tailored to that to boot. Like you have to respect the audacity, even if everything that we've said about it in a negative sense is also true.
We're on the Richard Mille website. Please tell me there's a chat bot in here. I hope there's a chat bot in here we can interact with. Right, menu. You know, it seems to have disappeared. There we go. Right, the RM self. Why is it not get? Oh, there we go.
Wow, what an amazing
Unprecedented.
case back view. It has to be said, you know, the execution and the layout of the movement and the fact that there were people going to work or, you know, on Tuesday mornings to make this thing work for even like 5 brief seconds before it explodes.
I will say
This
this.
is really
When
impressive.
Ryan Reynolds purchased Wrexham FC in February 2021 for approximately £2 million, that is roughly the same price of this watch.
Which would you
So which
rather
one brings
have?
you more joy? Probably this one.
Probably this, to be fair.
Look at that. That's amazing. I
Look
really
at
like
that
this side of
movement.
RM. We have to remember that RM is a playful brand, and this is a playful thing. They say 90% graphite titanium, 6% aluminum, and 4% nonsensium. You know, it's just like it's just all this like, ooh, look at this one. We know percentages. Even like the whole Richard Mille website has always been like moment of inertia of a balance will specified to like grams per square centimeter, whatever. Like nobody knows what that means, and every single balance wheel has a moment of inertia. Like it's incomparable because nobody else gives that information. This whole thing is just there to like more just justify the price in case somebody was wondering why it costs so much. It just says percentages and nonsensium a bunch of times, and oh, you have a fast rotating barrel. Ooh. You know, for 1.6 it should be like going like this if I want, you know. Extreme finishing.
Extreme
Look at
finishing.
I bet they are sitting there and they're like, okay, let's imagine these guys who know nothing about watchmaking sitting on a yacht with all their laptops open, trying to think if it was a good purchase or not. And it's like extreme finishing.
It
What
could
the hell does
only-
that even mean?
It could only have been made better had they not have put the E on extreme. It had just been a big X. Extreme finishing. There we go. Movement
But
character.
look at
there-
that.
there you
look
go,
at the
there you go.
shape of that
Scroll up a
bridge,
little bit.
though. Just look at the shape of that bridge. That looks like
It
that
has
brooch thing that Aragorn wears in Lord of the Rings. That thing is epically shaped. Look at that. I don't know if
Okay.
if extreme is the
Look at this.
adjective I would use.
Mhm.
look at this nonsense. Shock protection Keith Elaster Key E160B28. Thank you very much, Richard. And now that's already 40 grand right there. You know, that's why it's
and it's very
1.94
important to
million.
note. It's very important to note that the barrel shaft is nickel
Bunch
free.
of nonsense.
It's nickel free barrel shaft. None of your nickel barrel shafts. This one is nickel free. Who knew? Who cared?
I bet they have like this extremely long technical specification, like an order sheet for parts, and they just open it like row 37, column C, and they just pick that specific attribute that is absolutely meaningless, totally meaningless.
To be fair, it's stored okay. So
Hilarious.
come on, there's no chat bot. There we go.
But
Wouldn't it be cooler?
Quoting Russell Crowe, are you not entertained? Like,
Are
this
you
is-
not entertained? Extreme finishing.
Okay. No,
I think I want to see this evolution of Richard Mille 2.0 in maybe 2 years, maybe 12, where the website will be absent of all of this nonsense, and it will just say it's absurdium, as the chat is 100% absurdium, and then it's just like prices and watches, and then that's it. Why do this? It's so lowly to try and justify your barrel shaft, like, oh, whatever. Just say it's expensive and you cannot afford it. You know, own it.
It's
Don't
absurdium
try to
and you
justify
can't
it
afford
with
it.
all of the prices, if any brand has claimed like shockingly high prices as like part of their identity, it's Richard Mille. But they disclose every price. There's none of this like, oh, I'm sorry, we will only tell you in the confines of a boutique once we've approved your purchase history. I'm like, dude, I'm writing about it. What you just don't want to tell me. They will always tell us with a smile and very openly 1.94 million a piece. That's like, and I appreciate that. I honestly, I wish AP and everyone else operated that way. Stand behind it. Say it with your chest. If you're going to charge 1.94 million for a watch, don't be shy about that. Don't be timid. You know, impress me. Make me believe it.
An old friend of mine worked as a salesperson at a Richard Mille boutique, and he told me that there's a certain type of clientele who get very, very seriously offended if you even offer them the prospect of a discount on an $800,000 watch. You know, so you absolutely must not even mention the word discount or any form of like whatever. You know, you can discount it by the price of an S-Class Mercedes, but you know they don't want that. They get offended if you offer them like, what do you think? I'm poor. I'm here to buy it for 800K. You know, so that's the message, Ripley. I think with this proud posting of the prices, and of course some brands who don't post prices. I guess they do because they are playing all kinds of games between different markets and stuff, but that's a different discussion.
I want to work at a Richard Mille boutique. Sir, it's 1.94 million a piece, but we'll do it for you for 2.1.
Yeah. And you have to select the tip when you're paying like 5% and 8%.
A couple optional questions. Go ahead and answer one of these.
Here's the Yelp
no tip,
review.
really? All right.
Okay, right. Let's move on. Citizen, somebody else can pronounce this for me.
Suyosa.
The Citizen Suyosa Second watch adds razor sharp wit to the collection, but does it really? In fact, just to go back to the Richard Mille, it got me thinking there on the WhatsApp chat for Blog to Watch Weekly. If you want to join, then you just need to tap us up a message. It was commented, there was some chat on the Anordain bespoke watch straps this week and just how expensive they are. And Omer commented that he wished that he could type numbers in capital letters, that there was a capitalization of numbers. And I think that's the Richard Mille. Richard Mille is officially the capitalization of numbers when it comes to watch pricing. That and Anordain's bespoke straps. But Citizen Suzuki, no, I still can't pronounce it. Razor sharp wit to the collection. Shall we just go straight for hit miss, maybe? So is it a hit?
Yeah.
Is it a miss? Or is it a maybe? Go. Maybe hit. Is that a maybe symbol, David? Or a hit symbol? It's a hit symbol. It's just you're wiggling your thumbs.
Hits is Caesar.
So, so 2 hits and a maybe. Why is it a hit, David?
It's just I look at it and I think, oh, I wish that was my idea. It's so cool. I like it.
Fair enough. Ripley.
I like it. I think it's cool. This is the right price point to do some of these fun, irreverent second collabs. This kind of calls back to his earliest days before the
Mm,
formal brand collabs, where it was like a modified little hand to go on it, but sort of expanded that to the concept where it's not just the little pixely sword hand; it's cutting through the hour markers. It's simple, it's cool. It's a fun expression of this watch, which I see a lot of them out in the wild. So similar
uh-huh.
to like the Timex collabs he did, it's kind of cool to have the interesting, fun one amid a sea of people who have the common version. But not all of them tickle my fancy in quite the same way, but this is a particularly fun one. And I guess it comes with a foam sword. Like,
It would
okay,
appear to.
It's
yeah,
hilarious.
that's awesome.
What's the price on this?
Ooh, the price on this is $495. So
Yeah.
absolutely,
no-brainer.
absolutely fine. I, the only reason I think it's a maybe is I'm not sure you're allowed to quote yourself on the back of a watch. I'm not sure you're allowed
That's
to put your
that's a
own
fair point.
quotation. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if you said, I said this. Did you? Did you really? Did somebody
Am I
else say
not
that?
smart?
Did ChatGPT? I don't know. I'm just not. That doesn't work for me. I wouldn't have done. The front was enough. The front's funny enough,
Yeah.
smart enough, clever enough. It didn't need this on the back, so that's why it's
Yeah,
that's
I
why
agree.
it's a maybe for me. But for 500 quid, I think that's not that much more expensive, if expensive at all, than the real, the original.
Yeah, the standard ones, and those are a solid value
Mhm.
as well. At
Yeah.
known quantity from Citizen,
Mhm. Mhm.
integrated bracelet watch. So this is cool. I like the treatment. I think they didn't even go crazy with the colors,
Mhm.
and the foam sword is like, of all the random things I used to joke about Panerai with the toy submarines or Omega with the lunar rover and challenge coins or whatever, but I feel like I'd rather have a foam sword.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't, when faced with a choice, rather just have a big foam sword or a big, foam hand? Right, we were going to do the again,
Santurce.
Santurce, but we've only got time to do one more. So it's either Santurce and we don't talk about the JPEG and Co, or we talk about the Jacob and Co as part of hitting this maybe. So the choice is yours, gentlemen. The Santurce or the Jacob and Co.
I
I'm
think the
too
Jacob and Co's are ridiculous for those gods on them. Let's look at those.
So Jacob and Co goes into Hitmas maybe this week. Let's get the image on the screen of this abomination.
Fair warning, it has to be a hit not to upset the gods.
Yeah, and also Jacob and Co. The main headline this week from Jacob and Co is that it's the highest. It's jumped the most places on that Swiss industry chart.
The highest growing Swiss watch brand, or the fastest growing Swiss
Yeah,
watch
it's
brand.
amazing how quickly you can increase the flow of the way you might treat money to make it, less. Yeah,
Well, also,
thing
market
stuff.
share increases a lot when you're selling $31 million like billionaire watches.
Mhm.
31 million is like that's like all of the turnover from some of those guys around the 50
Yeah.
position point.
Yeah,
I'm
one
just looking at the
watch.
grotesque veiny
I know.
arm, and it's just like
This is a wild piece. It is terrifying, if I'm
Yeah.
being honest.
Okay. So hit miss maybe 1, 2, 3 go. It's clearly a miss. Oh, Rip is giving it a maybe, and so is David. Right.
I can't not give you the maybe. I mean,
just hedging your bets in case that god does exist.
I mean, I like the concept. It's just like it's the fact that they haven't even tried, apparently, to make this look even remotely not even accurate, but not even plausible. Like it's just like it's the first try on this figure. I think
I'd-
and
I had to
they really
say-
haven't had a second go at it. Like this is what it looks like.
I did
like
count
the
the number
concept.
I did count the number of fingers just in case it had been created by Chat GPT and the
I really like the
engraved image has
concept, like-
6 fingers.
This should have already existed, really.
Mhm.
And I'm surprised that it only exists just now.
And then on the back,
You see, no
there's-
quotes. Look how humble Jacob is. It's
Yeah.
just a Godfather-like picture of him
Mhm.
in black and gold.
Yeah.
with a signature.
Mhm.
I quite, I find it funny how it has a crown on the back and also on the side.
Yeah, I just don't really understand. I've not read the details as to why.
Oh, look at
Because
those lugs, those like
Look at those
Corinthian pillar
columns.
lugs. Oh
mhm,
my god.
They are these famous. Is it the word disinhabited or disused
mhm.
palaces raised by gypsies in Romania on the side of the road,
Okay.
where you go and they have like they're sometimes they are not even complete, but they are very baroque and they're very
Yes.
lavish and like and all these things. And it's a thing. You go to Romania and it's just a bunch of these things in the middle of nowhere that look like
Yep.
they are
Yep. Yep.
like
Yep.
palaces or something, but nobody lives there. And the case profile reminds me of some of the architectural solutions that they have found. But overall, I like this. I think, I wish I was like, like this sort of steroid enthusiast who could just rock this.
The watch for steroid enthusiasts. I
Yeah,
do remember traveling in Romania, and I don't know if it still is the
hilarious.
rule, but it used to be the rule that if you didn't finish your house, you didn't pay tax on it. So you get
Yeah,
all of these
yeah, yeah.
massive houses with a floor on the top that was still just the construction works and the breeze block. The house below it was absolutely magnificent, but they had like a third floor that was still incomplete, and it meant that you
It's a
didn't
thing.
pay a completion tax on the house.
And this also looks a little incomplete to me. Not that much, but just a little bit. So this is what really ties this picture together.
I think it's
Um,
really, I mean, this is a giant of a man, but he appears to have like 4.5 inch wrists.
and he's squished together by the bezel. So
Yeah.
it looks like it's an odd posture. There are a number of these facades here in Budapest that are
Uh,
beautiful buildings, and they have these atlases holding balconies next to
mm.
the entrances. Some of them are so beautifully done and so amazing, and this one is just like an uninvention of the Vitruvian man, really.
David.
It's basically it,
Yeah.
it really is.
Okay. And I've not looked how much it is. You want to have a guess?
Well, this reminds remember
Whatever.
the Patek Philippe watch that had Stern Senior's
Oh,
face on it?
360.
I mean, to be fair, I saw
I would have said
360.
690.
I saw 690. I saw 360,000 and thought, oh, that's surprisingly
Yeah,
competitive for Jacob and Co.
yeah.
It's a lot of
I
gold.
hope it's all
Well,
gold.
maybe it's
I mean,
9
I hope
carat.
even
No,
the
it's
figure
18
is
carat.
solid gold, so that the whole
Mm.
thing is just extremely heavy on the wrist. That's what
I
I
mean,
want.
look how it is pretty. It is a bit of a chunker. Look at on Ariel's
It
wrist.
is an
Ariel's such a
interesting
small man.
pose. It's kind of like an NBA type of thing, except instead of the ball, he's sort of holding the tourbillon there.
Mm,
And then
mm.
what's going on with the side under his pec where he's got like the whole rib cage of another
Yes.
human?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
also appears to be looking at something which is not the tour. I'm not sure what he's looking at. Maybe he was looking at the tax inspectors chasing him,
No, he's
wondering where
looking
he
at the
got all that money
tourbillon.
from. Uh, is
He's a
he? Is he?
god. He doesn't pay
Hey, look at it.
taxes.
You can see it. See everywhere all at once. There we go. So there is. Here's the Jacob
You
and
know,
Co.
to be honest, I appreciate Richard Mill having its own fun and Jacob and Co having their own fun. The world of watches is a more
Yeah, true.
hysterical place because
True.
of this.
Yeah.
You know what's
No, that's
wild?
fair
How
enough.
many of those Jacob and Co. watches you could buy for the price of the Richard Mill? Like, in what world
You
are
can
you
have
buying
them
like
on your forearm, like
yeah,
all of
like
them.
half a dozen of those bad boys?
Well, that is our show for this week. We hope you enjoyed it. We've seen you in the chat, but there does appear to has been a problem with moving the chat onto the main show this morning. Don't know why, but thank you, the usual suspects, for joining us, and we will see you in a week or so's time. Cheerio! Bye bye.
Thanks
Bye, everyone.
everyone. Catch you next week. Bye bye.